Hi guys, welcome back to another weekend vlog on Sharpie's Pond World. To be fair, not really much to do this weekend. I've already cleaned out the Nexus. I've just inserted the memory cards into the 2 cameras that we've got up, because the cloud storage you only get 7 days off. Obviously I wasn't storing anything, so now all the footage is on memory cards. So that's all done. I am going to add the cloverleaf answer. That needs to be done, of course, this weekend, which I should have done on last weekend, which I didn't do. Stumpy's still sat in the corner. Fish just been fed, so a little bit of food left, so I'm going to net that out in a minute. Still clear as anything, although it's a bit murky at the minute because I was netting a load of weed out. We just had a new patio table delivered, so that needs to be built. Rattan chairs, rattan table, get that done. She's still happy on a swing, cat's still happy, rabbit's still happy, everyone's happy. So yeah, so we'll start getting a few jobs done, but it's not going to be much of a vlog, not going to take long, I don't think. But first thing, I probably need to get this table done, because when the missus comes home, I think she's going to expect it built, so we'll do that first. Guys, I need to ask you as well, I've already put it on Facebook on some of the groups. I brought a new Acer. It's an Acer palmatum, I think you pronounce it. What worried me, because I've heard that the red Acer leaves are apparently toxic to fish. Now, if I ask Alexa, I'll do it now actually. Alexa, is an Acer palmatum toxic to fish?
Here's something I found on the web. According to wikipedia.org, it is moderately to slightly toxic to fish and other aquatic species.
There you go. So, according to Wikipedia, or whatever she found on the web, it's toxic to aquatic life. But when I put it on Facebook, everyone said it's fine, and it's just the Japanese maple that's poisonous. So, I'm not really sure. So, comment down below before I put it anywhere near the pond. And it's got to stay on here for now, because if he gets it, it's definitely poisonous to him. Yes, you. So comment down below, guys. Right, I'm going to be honest. She's happy again, look. Planting.
I'm not, I think I need to chuck this away.
She's in a happy place. Although she's got bag on. Why, what's the matter?
Because I think most of this is dead, rather than, I don't think it's a healthy plant. I think it's just dead and then just shooting.
A bit like that plant there, look.
So
Dead.
that's because I moved that, and I don't know if that's going to come back. I've got to cut it back. And I don't know whether to just hack it or whether to just spend a couple of quid and get a new one. Because they're only about £5.99.
Oh, I'll do that then.
So,
May as well, aren't you?
yeah. But do you like this trellis on there?
Yeah. It's fine.
I'll get rid of that then.
Right. Again, I've not got a lot done. We had visitors today. So, all afternoon, we've been sitting down at the new table and with a family that came around to see us. So we've not done really a lot that we needed to get done. Weekends just fly by, guys. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to give the fish a bit of food, because it's that late in the day, that's to tell you. Just a bit of mealworm in there as well. Fish absolutely love it. And the orf, the little blue orf, my god, he goes mad. Goes mad for the mealworm. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my water test done, because I didn't do that last weekend. Obviously this is important to do. So, got my pot of water, got my syringe, got my pots ready. And what I normally do, I'll just give these a bit of a rinse out with pond water first. I normally do mark on, so I keep the same one for nitrate, same one for ammonia, but they've all come off. So, as long as I give them a clean out. If it goes green, panic. There'll be no reason why that should. I've always had 0 ammonia, so come back in 15 minutes for that one. Right, next one. Right, so it's been 15 minutes, so the ammonia, you can see on camera. Actually, I'll bring you up. Right, so ammonia, let's do ammonia first. There you go. 0 ammonia, which is what we want. Perfect. That's what we want. 0 ammonia. I'll try it next. I ain't gonna lie, very, very slightly pink, but it's nowhere near 1 milligram. So I'd say that is 0.5. Obviously it does need to be 0, but me personally think it's because I've been overfeeding, because there's times I've had to go out and net the food, which while we've been doing this lot, there's still food in there now. So they are taking longer than 10 minutes, well 15 minutes it's been while we've been doing this, so it's been longer than 15 minutes to eat. So I think that'll be the reason really. So I'm not panicking too much with that being 0.5. Definitely isn't 1, it's not that dark. So 0.5 I can live with that. So we'll do a couple of water changes, some bigger water changes I think. That should bring that down. Right, so nitrates. Now if you've seen my past videos, my nitrates was very high on one of the videos I did a few months ago. And over the course of these last few months, it has been coming down. It's not toxic at all. Like Lau Magro says, the French koi connection, to test, you can test your tap water. I did test mine, there isn't any nitrates in my tap water. I think now the plants are obviously establishing as well, it should come down a bit more as well. But I've always had high nitrates in my pond. If you don't know Lau, I'm sure everyone does, just go back and check one of her videos out, because she's done a complete video of how to reduce her nitrates, and I think she's got them to now exactly 0. So I also need to take note and probably do what she's done. I'm going to rewatch that video, because for the last few tests it has been the 20 milligram. I don't seem to be getting it less than that. So the ideal pH does need to be between 7 and 8.5. Mine is, I'd say that's 8. No way is at 8.5, which is the more the blue, it's more the turquoise. It is a bit darker than the 7.5, so I'd say mine is about 8, between 7.5 and 8 I'd say. Definitely a little bit darker than that, so I'd say it's more the turquoisey one. Right, and then phosphate, you can be as high as 1 milligram really for ideal. So it is slightly blue, so we'll just say, what's that, 0.5. Isn't as dark as that, maybe 0.5. One definitely isn't 2, which is good. So I'll probably say that one is 0.5. Water test complete. Nothing to panic about, as long as this nitrites doesn't spike. So we'll increase the water change I think, because I do little water changes every week, every time I clean the Nexus anyway. But I might just have to do a bigger one I think, just to try and reduce that slightly, try and get it back to 0, because it is normally is 0. But I think it is because of the overfeeding. I'm not concerned too much with being at 0.5. So, right, superb. One job done. Something else my fish love. I've just had a tea. My daughter didn't complete her corn on the cob. Look at this. They love it. Chase this around the pond every time I put one in. It's always my big magoi, my big black fish. Little ones don't really have a go. Bex is about to come up. They love just nibbling at the corn on the cob. I've just missed it, but the big mama just very nearly took the whole lot in a gob I think. You can just see her coming down there now. I've zoomed in quite a lot. Zoom out a little bit. Look at that. Brilliant. She's there again. Oh. Hi guys. I didn't film it because it's actually impossible to film, although I got my daughter to do it, but my big ghost, I've just had to net out. Now if he comes around, he's gone a bit skittish at the minute because obviously I've netted it. Under its chin, it had like a little bit of flesh sort of flapping about. So we netted it, I turned it over. Now there's no wound, there's no sore. It looks like he's probably just caught it. Maybe one of the stones that's lying on the bottom of the pond, I don't know. I don't know if he's sort of ripped his chin a bit. It's not bleeding or anything. it's just like a bit of skin just flapping. So if it comes around, we'll just try and get it. If you can see it, just on his chin. You can't really see on the camera. It's about there. Just under its gill, on the right hand side under its gill. But I did put a bit of anti-bac on it just to be on the safe side. Obviously didn't want this to get infected at all. But it seems to be alright. It's been eating. So it's just one to keep an eye on, make sure no deep wound, because with it being under the chin you obviously can't see it from above. It was actually my daughter that noticed it. She always comes out and looks at the fish. She came running in to tell me. But yeah, I reckon he's just caught it. Maybe when he's been at the bottom and he's just caught it on a stone or the side of a plant pot or something. Like I say, he's been eating. There's no deep wound. I'll put some anti-bac on to be on the safe side just to try and stop any infection. I'll tell you what, you realise how big your fish are as well when you bowl them out. I do need to get one of these big koi bowls, to be honest, because I put it in here and it filled that. Absolutely filled that. And the length of that is actually 60 cm. 60 cm. And his tail was still curved. So I reckon he's got to be coming on for 70 cm. That's not even my biggest fish. I've got the Shiro Becks. I've got my Magoi. Big Mama. Wherever she's gone. She's coming down there. This one's an absolute beast. Absolute beast. The size of that is unbelievable. Okay, so this is actually now a few days later. So after a couple of water changes, only 10% water changes, and really cutting down the feed, that, actually I'll put it on the card, it's practically zero. So the nitrites has definitely come down. I didn't cut the feeding down completely because I'm still adding new K1 media into my Nexus, so I obviously need that to mature, and you need the fish waste to make it mature. No fish waste is not going to do it, it'll take longer. So I mean, ideally you don't want to be cutting down your fish food completely anyway with a nitrite spike, unless it was obviously really sky high, and then you'd be panicking and you would completely cut it out. But mine was about 1 milligram, I think, but between 0.5 and 1. So that's now maybe a slight tinge of pink in the water, so you could probably say it's halfway, but that's completely nothing to worry about at all. So a week it's been of cutting down the feeding, and I did 2 10% water changes during the week, and I cleaned the Nexus out an extra clean as well to what I normally do, and the nitrites has come down, so I'm happy days with that. Just chucked a load of silkworm in, so the fish are going mad for that. The koi trying to get it before the rudd and the blue wharf get there first. The only problem, you chuck food in like silkworm and mealworm and dried shrimp. If you've got rudd and wharf in your pond, they absolutely go mad for it. And because they're so quick at going for the food, I mean, they are predators by nature, they get there so much quicker than the koi. Sorry, it's like lightning. Right, so I've got my waste pipe, just been to the plumbing centre. So that is going to run down the back of my garage. So where the waste comes out the Nexus in the filter shed. I'll go around and I'll show you anyway what I'm on about, but I ain't got to cut it or anything. It's perfect length. I've got the connector to join onto the pipe that's already coming out. So I'll take you around. We need to put the rabbit away. So that's where you can just see the white pipe. That's what comes out from the waste, which then normally shoots down the back here. This is next door's garden, but it normally that just all fills up with water. You can't really see on camera. This is where I get my legs chopped to bits by going through there, but I'll show you. So if you can just see there, That's the pipe that comes out the back of the filter house. So I just need to join that onto that. That will run all the way down there, and then out the back and just run down the shared drive. This, I put some guttering down there to try and make it go down quite faster, but it just all fills up with water. That much water's coming out. Obviously it's getting all the algae and stuff is all building up down there and all the crap. I don't want my garage flooding. It won't interact with the drain pipe if you can see with the lights, but perfect. So that's all that was on it. You just went straight down to the floor. So now I've got the pipe running all the way down, and then it can just shoot out the bottom here. Just shoot out there, and then get that swept out a little bit, and then it can all just run off there. You don't use this share drive or anything. Bit of pond water ain't going to do out. Just a bit of muck will be on there, but never mind. Right, so here's my Acer. Apparently it's safe for fish, according to the experts on Facebook. Because apparently the ones that are toxic to fish is the Japanese red maple. So this one, I believe, is fine. Comment down below if you think it's not, but that's what it's called. So this is going to go over there. It'd be great if I could have put it in that plant bed, but because it's toxic to the rabbit, we can't do that. So this is where it's going to go for now. Once that is gone, I think it's going to go in that corner. If it's not that going in the corner, I want to get a fern. So a fern can go in, then maybe the Acer. I'm just going to put a few in just to hide this pipe work a bit, but I'd like it to probably go in that corner, I think, once I've got rid of that. So let me know what you think. It's just topping up. And before I switch it back on, UV bulb change. Guys, don't forget to change your UV bulbs. Every 6 months really you should be changing these, but ideally if you can use 6 months of it throughout the main season, throughout the winter, you wouldn't really need to change it again. Just make sure you do change it come the spring, and don't touch the glass, don't get your fingerprints all over it. I normally just feed it from the sleeve, put it in and clip it together. Might be a job done for this spring. Right, I've had an emergency, guys. There's no way I could have stopped and got the camera to vlog it. So I cleaned out the foams from the box filter. As I put it all back together, switched the pump back on, I noticed water is dripping out. It's coming through here with the lid. So obviously when this was up and running on its own, it's got a built-in UV system that I switched off years ago anyway because it was leaking. So that's where it was coming from. So got the silicone out, tried to seal the leak, no joy. So as I investigated further, the whole sleeve, the whole UV unit, it just all come apart, it cracked. So I pulled that away. The quartz sleeve that was in there, it was all broke, so I had to rip it out. So the only thing I've had to do as a temporary measure, so the black pipe which comes from the pump, that would have gone through that hole into the UV system which comes down the back through a spray bar into the filter. So I've turned the green lid round, which is the middle bit, so the spray bar now is there. So the pipe now comes through, and I've screwed that onto the spray bar. So obviously I just can't put that lid on. But because now water's coming through faster, it's absolutely pouring out these pipes. So what I'm going to do, I can disconnect this now, to be fair. I don't really need it. The only reason I've kept this running is because in a few weeks time I need to get the fish out to rip the liner out, because I want to make the pond deeper. So I want to keep that mature, because that's going to run then on the pool, which I'm going to put on here, let the fish in for a few days. The only reason now I'm keeping that running. So what do I do now? Comment below, because do I forget all that? Just disconnect it completely so I haven't got to worry about it, and then just connect something back up once I've got the temporary pool up. But I'm just not going to keep the medium mature, am I? That's the only downside. Comment below, what would you do, guys?